And welcome back to the most obtuse and nebulous tier list that you'll ever watch. Which means we can move on to Elusia, the land of losers and rejects. And Kagetsu. Okay, let's start this nice and easy. Ivy! Oh boy, this is at the very least, it's a very busy design. I look at Ivy's design and I think, woo, someone had a fucking field day with this one. There is at the very least a lot going on. Okay, so what's Elusia's theming? You have flowers for Firenate, you have like diamonds and stone, rock and stone for Brodia, and Elusia's kind of like plants, not flowers, so to say. You have Ivy, Hortensia, like it's still flowers, kind of, but it's like not at the same, I don't know, like they kind of overlapped with the whole flower thing. For starters, everything's clipping through everything on this design, which is immediately going to get its points docked. Like, oh god, okay, yeah, no, for starters, this design is bad. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. It looks like you got dressed in the dark. Let's go over all the bad stuff right away. Number one, and the point that has always bothered me the most, is the fucking spikes on the gloves and the boots. Look so fucking stupid. They literally look like someone went into a character creator that has like, oh, accessories. Do you want to place like this spike or this fucking cylinder on this character? Like in a fucking Soul Calibur like character creator, and just placed spikes on her hands. They look like they're clipping through. They look fucking stupid. I get it. Rose's thorns. She's supposed to have, ooh, I'm a darker side. You can't see my darker past. Ooh, daddy love me. And it's like, I get it. And you have that with the rose, like, icon on her neck, or like tying her outfit together, which I do actually quite like. And if you just had that, I wouldn't be complaining in the slightest. That's fine. Alright, number two. The fucking grill headpiece looks fucking stupid. It's unbelievably fucking unnecessarily complicated. I get it, it's supposed to be like almost like a funeral. I don't even know what you would call that. A funeral headpiece, part of a funeral gown. Which I do get. It's supposed to be down and dour, it matches her personality. That works. It's just the execution of it looks really, really silly. Like the grate and the positioning just, it looks silly. It would look cooler if she was just flat out wearing like a funeral, part of the funeral gown on her head. Oh my god, what is going on her back? What is that? Is that part of the fucking mount? Like the giant cape with the poofy fucking blue fur? Oh my god, it's so bad. Oh, okay. What do I like about this design? I like the colors. I like the dark blue contrasting with the bright red, almost pink. I do actually quite like that. I don't mind the gown. The stockings are all right. They're a little bit much. I get that she's supposed... This is the horny bait character, and I'm fine with that, because it's Fire Emblem and you gotta have a horny bait character. I'm like, yeah, fine. Her personality isn't, like, that obnoxious. I actually quite like Ivy as a character. It's just... It feels like it's a case of being... skimpy for the sake of being skimpy, rather than actually having any substance. And Ivy as a character doesn't really feel like someone who would wear this. Like, if you showed me... Again, if we're going back to Goldmary, if you showed me Goldmary wearing this, I'd 100% be like, yeah, that fits Goldmary. That's fine. But it just feels a little bit off on Ivy. Like, it feels like she should just be wearing the full, like... What's-her-face, like from Radiant Dawn? Peleus's mother. Whatchamacallit? Like, Digentia's sister. I forget her name. It's like fucking Esmeralda or some shit. The dragon lady who can't turn into a dragon. Like, that outfit when she's got the full headpiece and, like, the black garb. That feels like what Ivy should be wearing, but, like, with the colors she's currently wearing. Like, there's so much going on this design, and most of it doesn't work. This is an over-designed mess. The white gloves and the white boots kind of work. You could almost make that a darker color and that'd probably be fine. I like all the flower motifs with like the, whatchamacallit, I forget what exact plant that is on her head, but I do know that it is based on a real plant with real leaves. Based on it's like amaryllis or something like that. The poofy like backrest with the giant massive cape along with the butt cape looks like she has a fucking back brace for this random just bit of padding. Why? This design's awful. Oh my god, this design's so fucking bad. The spikes look stupid. Get rid of them. Just flat out, fucking get rid of them. They're dumb. Just get rid of them. There is no salvaging that part of our design. And you know what they don't look dumb? They don't look dumb on the tail of the mount. That actually looks kind of cool. I actually don't mind that. This might be an E-tier design. I might actually hate this more than Aaliyah's design, because Aaliyah's design, while bad, is mostly in the hair area. This is like just a big, wide fucking, oh my god, my eyes are getting tortured design. There's so much going on. Everything's clipping through everything. it's not a good time. So many of the elements of this fucking design could be removed and it'd be fine. But they're not. They're here, and they're assaulting us with their presence. E tier. Sorry, Ivy. Too bad. Which moves us on to Hortensia. Oh, POV, you made the worst designed character in Fire Emblem. Alright, right away, F tier. This is the worst designed character in Fire Emblem. Fucking hideous. Although I will say, the roses look a little bit better here than they do on Ivy's design, unfortunately. There is literally nothing about this design that I like. I do not like the fact that she is dressed like a clown. It doesn't match her personality very much. The balls and the Pegasus look fucking stupid. The flowers look a little bit better than Ivy's. The colors are ugly. She looks like a fucking piece of candy that no one wants to eat. You know that piece of licorice enjoyers, those freaks. Oh god, the hair color is awful. The pink and white just fucking does not match with the outfit at all. The little heart under her eye makes me want to puke! I hate it. God, yeah, no, everything about this design is fucking awful. Much like how Jade was a case of, I want to use this unit because she looks cool. And then I look at Hortensia, and I don't care how good this unit is, I'm never going to fucking use her because she looks like fucking puke. This is the worst designed character in Fire Emblem. Bar none. Like, you can talk about Camilla, Fembyleth, Bernadetta's time skip design. Bernadetta's time skip design is awful, and it matches her character completely. This both doesn't match her character, and is fucking hideous. There is no positive aspect about this design. F tier. I'd rate it F- if I could. Fuck Hortensia. If you like Hortensia, I don't like you. The crown looks ugly. The crown looks like it's made of fucking like it's made of cereal boxes or something. It just looks bad. The massive fucking balls she stole from the bull pit from the goddamn Comic-Con look awful. The giant clown, like, why is she dressed like a clown? It doesn't match her character in the slightest. She's like kind of like maybe a little bit of a trick. Not really. Most of her like character in the story. I haven't read a single one of her supports, by the way. This character has never seen combat in any of my playthroughs. Maybe she fucking has an interesting character trait. I don't know. Maybe she likes Wednesdays. Wow. What a deep and meaningful fucking character. I don't care. Hortensia, fucking F tier. Get out of my face. It's legitimately hurting my eyes looking at it, so I'm moving on. Hortensia, F tier. A Kagetsu, a Captain Busted. Alright, right away. This is a very solid and good plain design, which I do like. I really like the hair. I really like just the simplicity of the colors. They look quite dull and dark, but that actually works quite nicely. I like the sash. I like the overall Asian theming. I like the fact that he's pretty. He a pretty boy. I like the sandals. I like pretty much all of this design. There is one big problem with this design though, and it isn't related to what he looks like at all. This dude is from Illusia, known for its snow and cold environment, but he has holes in his pants. You know, something people use to get cool air onto their legs in hot environments, aka Solm. Why is this dude from Illusia and not from Solm? It always fucking bothered me. I feel like it bothers a lot of people that Kagetsu is not like either Timerra or Fogado's retainer. Like, it really feels like he just doesn't belong in Illusia. It just feels out of place. You could say maybe he's from Solm and he's just working for Ivy as a job or whatever. His homeland is actually Solm. Maybe it's fucking posted in support. I don't remember. That shouldn't be support information. I'd probably rank this as an A tier design, but because of like the jarring nature of him being from Illusia, I think I'm gonna rate him in B tier. It's really solid. I like just a lot of the small design elements. I like the headpiece a lot. I like the brace. I like the ropes tying his outfit together. I like the colors a lot. I think they mesh really nicely. But yeah, just the awkward nature of his nationality. Let me see your passport, Kagetsu. Where are you from? I feel like it just ruins an otherwise really good design, because you have that nagging question in your mind. It's like, where the fuck is this dude from? A dude who's living in like sub-zero environments should not be fucking wearing pants with massive holes in them. It doesn't. Like, that's not even a bad design element, because if he was from a desert, that would make total sense. I'm gonna place him in B tier, purely just because the design is solid, but it doesn't match Illusia in any way. If he was from Solm, I'd probably rate it an A tier. Just a solid design with some questionable decisions in terms of where the character is from. Next, oh, my favorite boy, Divine One. I am being beaten to death for quoting crime statistics. What a fun gimmick. I know, I usually don't like gimmick characters in Fire Emblem, but man, what a treat this dude is. The voice actor had a fucking great time with him. This is a very, very cool design. I love Zelkov as a character. This is just a very solid, cool design. This dude looks like a thief. Like, Absolutely. Of all the characters so far, I think this one matches his class the best. I really, really like just the keys lining the inside of his outfit. It looks a little bit silly, I'll admit. I wish it was a little bit more organized rather than just like, ah, fuck it, we'll just spread keys on his outfit. But I really like the idea of it. Like, I wish he, like, if you saw the inside of his coat, you'd see just a bunch of, like, keys and lockpicks and all of the thieves' tools. And that's a really cool idea. Like, almost like he's, like, when the fucking RE4 merchant opens his coat, it's like, welcome, and stuff like that. The completely dark colors work absolutely, because he's trying to keep to the shadows. Dark skin tone, dark hair, works completely well. Fits the character. He doesn't look like he comes from a fucking warm nation, like his compadre, Kagetsu, so that he's got that going for him. The eyes on the cloak match Elusia's kind of cultic renown, like how they believe in Sombron. It's got, like, Sombron's entire thing is like the emblem is an eye, so that matches that. I don't think there's anything I really dislike about this design. This might be an S tier design. Again, I can't really find any fault with it. It's just a cool design that I like a lot. It's well made, it's dark, it's brooding, it's like mysterious, and yet it still has that almost goofy tinge to it, which fits Zelkov's character to like an absolute T. So he's got that all sorted out. I'm not really sure what I would add to it to make it better. I think I will put him in S tier. Yeah, you know what? Vel'Koz. I called him Vel'Koz. Zelkov. Fucking S tier. Zelkov. S tier. 100%. I believe in Zelkov. I believe in Zelkov's supremacy. This boy belongs in S tier. No, this man, this hoodlum, this conniving cur belongs in S tier. Zelkov is best boy. Best absolute rapscallion. Rosado. Oh, Rosado. Okay. Okay, right away, we're not counting the mount. This mount does not look like it's having a good time. This mount looks like it'd rather be anywhere else. I feel very sorry for this dragon, because it's been painted purple and pink and tied with blue ribbons. It's not a fun life for that fucking wyvern. Rosado pretty. He good pretty. What do I talk about with Rosado's design? There's not that much to talk about. It's a really simple design. There isn't that much color. Despite him being a very colorful character, he's not that colorful in terms of design. Like, he has the hair with the pink ribbon and the drills, and I mean, his hair is actually pretty goddamn fancy, blue and pink tinges. Fits the character very well. I'm almost wondering if the black is out of place. Yeah, I feel like it almost should be like a blue or something just to contrast with Goldmary's yellow, because I like the pink stockings, I like the purple skirt. Maybe just have him wear purple. I like the silver greaves and the silver armor and stuff. That actually flows quite nicely. This doesn't look super impractical. I feel like flyers can get away with just having kind of impractical armor in places. I've never really had too many strong... I know a lot of people love Rosado, a lot of people hate Rosado. I've been like on the fence on Rosado. I'm like, he's fine. I know as a unit he's not great, but his overall character design doesn't really scream like amazing to me. I'm leaning towards B tier, just because it's kind of plain. It feels like all the trinkets are on the dragon, and that's a shame. It feels like he should have more trinkets and doodads on himself. He feels like that kind of character. Oh, he has like ribbons on the back of his shoes. I didn't notice that. And he's wearing heels, which fits. I'm going to place him in B tier. I think this is a solid B tier design that could just be improved by having a few more trinkets. Like, this is the type of character that you place all that garbage Hortensia shit on. And it feels like it would fit the character a lot more. It feels like he's just missing certain elements. And I don't like the black shirt. I feel like it should be purple. Yeah, Rosado just feels like he's maybe missing something, but still a decent design. B tier. Oh, the queen bitch herself. I fucking love Goldmary. I'm gonna give Goldmary an A tier design right off the bat. Very, very simplistic, but it just works. Much like King Crimson, much like Skyrim, it just works. Really, really love the colors on this. The yellows, the whites, all the flower and gray. She does look like she could be a Firene soldier, but it's kind of still fine with the Elusia, because Elusia's thing is like, wow, we don't really know what our theming is. It's kind of all over the place. I love the giant shoulder pad, even if it's a little bit out of place for the character, and it massively clips through her in combat, but that's fine. I like the stocking boots, I like the heels, I like the skirt. Her, like, letting her breasts just be completely, like, just out there in combat completely matches Goldmary. She would 100% use her in sexuality as a weapon. Love it. Keep it up. This is a fucking queen. I love the hair. I love the dark yellow eyes. I love the little vine hair piece. Yeah, just a really, really good A tier design. I'm not sure how you'd make it an S tier design. I'm not really sure. It's just, again, it feels like it's maybe missing something. And as much as I do love the shoulder pad, it is a little bit out of place. Like, I almost think you could get rid of that and just maybe bulk up like a regular arms a bit more. Maybe stick some more armor on her arms instead of having a massive shoulder pad. Like, stick some more armor. Like, she has the knee pads, which I do like. Like, give her some like elbow guards or something like that. Like, I like the shield a lot. The shield is a cool buckler. I'm not sure it's part of the character, so I'm not gonna completely count that, but it does fit. Like, she still looks dignified. She looks like she's ready to go to a party at any time. She looks like she could take off like the yellow part of that outfit and just be wearing like a cool ass corset dress and just be a fucking vibing. Oh, who's that bad bitch coming down the stairs? You're damn right, it's fucking Goldmary. A tier. Almost S tier if the armor was distributed a bit more interestingly, so to say. And last, but probably least, is Lindon. The character I'm willing to bet everyone forgot about. How the fuck do you rate this design? It's so nothing. Like, he's a bishop. Or he's not a bishop, he's a sage. I look at this design and I think, bishop, this guy celebrates religion. Everyone point at the religious fanatic. It's so forgettable. Like, he literally looks like like, look at this in chapter 19, chapter fucking 21 Gaiden boss. Like, he just reminds me of, makes me think of the sage from 21 Gaiden in FE6. That's that type of character. It's all white, it's all gold trimmings. You can kind of see the black underclothes. Like, maybe just make him look like more of a priest. Stop covering him up so much. Like, there's no reason to cover him up so much. I can barely see the fact that he has facial hair. I honestly didn't even realize he had facial hair until I just checked it. So, as that, it looks out of place and ugly, and I don't like it. I like the collar a lot. I like the fact that he does look holy, even though he's not a priest. He's not, like, a high monk or whatever the equivalent of bishop is in this game, because bishop basically doesn't exist. The overall holy nature does match the Illusia theming of the whole occult and mysterious worshipping nature, worshipping Sombron. That does work. I like the pattern on the front of the robe. That's kind of neat. There's just not a whole lot. Like, you served me a meal with basically nothing in it except just a large piece of chicken. Like, there are no vegetables, there's no, like, interesting spices, there's no broth, there's no nothing. It's just kind of here. Yeah, this is a C tier design for no other reason than it's just, there's basically nothing here. Almost D tier, I'd say, just because it's so boring. This design somehow has less going on than someone like Renault in FE7. A character who doesn't exist outside of his, like, 2D portrait art. It's not offensively bad, but it's just kind of, it's dull. And at the end of the day, I think something like dull is much worse than something like Hortensia or Ivy, because it's just forgettable. You remember the bad ones, you don't remember the boring ones. D tier. Or no, not D tier, C tier. Maybe D tier, actually. I'll see how I feel. Oopsie whoopsie, I forgot about Anna. Oh my god, she's so small. I do not remember Anna being this small. How old is this child? Who put this child in the battlefield? Anna's like a fine design. It's kind of I wouldn't say forgettable. It's just very plain and there. It's nothing terrible. This, you know what this feels like? This feels like a Fates design. This feels just very subdued. The colors are very just plain, simple. I do quite enjoy these colors. They're subdued, but they're not like to the point where they're boring. The white is nice, the red is nice, the brown is nice. I feel like the black isn't super out of place. I like the boots. The overall dress aesthetic is cool. The cloak is great, actually. Now that I'm getting a really closer look at it, the cloak looks legitimately fucking great. Looks mysterious. Looks like something a shopkeeper would wear when they're traveling from, like, country to country, selling their wares. No window shoppers, you fuckers. Yeah, really easy, simple design. I'd say, like, B tier? Maybe? I feel, when it comes to simpler designs, I feel like it's difficult to rate them any higher than B tier, maybe A tier at a push, because this design, while good, doesn't really have too much going on. The weird elbow guards are also a little bit out of place. Don't really mesh that well with the rest of the design. The gloves are cool, have a neat design, it's just not that much going on. It feels like she should have more shopkeeper shenanigans going on in a design. Like, she has the pouches, that's good. I almost feel like she should have, like, something more going on with her hair. It's just a boring, scrunchy ponytail, which looks perfectly good, but it feels like there should be more. It feels like there is just something that they left on the drawing room floor, which, who knows, maybe this is a better design than what we could have potentially gotten. Maybe you could use some more red on the design? Now that I think about it, Anna's main color is obviously red. She's been here since FE1. Her main color is red. Like, when I look at this design, I think, oh, our primary color is white, because it's being used the most. Like, the cape is more brown than reddish. There isn't actually that much just plain, simple red on this design, which I guess could show restraint. I also don't think of Anna as really a resident of Illusia. I know, like, that's where she's considered to be from, but I feel like she almost just belongs to no nation. She feels like she'd be a traveling merchant, and I don't know, maybe you could make something of that. Maybe just have her incorporate something from all of the different regions onto her design. Because from what I'm looking at, this does not look like an Illusia character. This looks like a Brodia character. Like, she's using the traditional reds of Brodia. And the more subdued colors suggests someone from the Brodia region, rather than Illusia, who uses more out there colors and more, like, ooh, weird designs. This, it doesn't really match. And I think I'm going to dock points for that. You're getting a -5 on your fucking report card for that. Yeah, I'm going to go B tier. It's a solid design, but it definitely could be improved in a bunch of different ways. I feel like you could do more with the hair, more with the shopkeeper aesthetic, more with like the fact that she's from Illusia. I don't know. The cape is nice. I like the cape a lot. The colors are good, but overall it's just kind of so-so. That leads us into the next region. Solm. Oh, Solm. Let's start with Fogado. Forgot about it. I really like this design. Right away. This is a really, really charming design. This is a Playboy outfit. This dude gets around town. Just a really, really good fucking Playboy design. It's really fucking flouncy and pouncy and downcy, I don't know. It just works really nicely for me. Litany of colors all over his design would normally clash on like a normal character design, but because this character's main like aspect is, oh, he's a charmer, he's a playboy, he's gonna fucking make you take your clothes off and be like, whoa, how'd that happen? Oh, he's so charming, he made my clothes just vanished. Like, it's good, it's cool stuff. It genuinely works. Like, you got what? You got white, green, orange, purple, red, yellow, and more orange all over the design, and gold. Like 7 different colors on this design. And it somehow works really nicely. I like white being the main aspect, because he's living in a desert, you want to wear white clothes, because that reflects heat. Makes perfect sense. I like the purple pants, works really nicely. It shows that you can wear purple pants and not have it look bad for other characters, so my theory was correct. I really like the collar, the ruffled collar and the ruffled sleeves. Shows almost like an explosive nature to his personality, which isn't completely on point, but it's good. I like the archer's like chest guard, indicates his weapon type. I can guess that this character is an archer because of that. That's terrific. Good stuff. I like the gold necklace. I like the little gold headband to indicate that he's royalty, but not really bragging about it. It's more of a subtle thing. The fact that it's being hidden by the hair indicates that it's like, oh yeah, I'm royalty, but it's not a big deal. Like, I enjoy the fact that royalty isn't really that big of a deal, and so it's like, yeah, I'm royalty, but it's, yeah, we're more of like a nation. It works really, really well. Someone has clearly put a lot of thought into this design. I'm gonna go A tier, I think. Really, really solid. I like the look of the horse, but I'm not going to include that, just because I haven't done it with the others. I think the only thing I really don't like about this design is the green. I think that's it. I think that's literally it. I think that green could be yellow, like it is like the braid in the center of his shirt, along with the buttons, and I think it would look much better. I think if that green, straight up, if that green was yellow, I think this design would be S tier. It's just so... One, it's memorable. 2, it just flows much better. And look, a black character in Fire Emblem. Oh my god, we've done it, people. We've done it! We can have black characters in Fire Emblem. Oh my god. I like the shoes, hadn't even looked at that. I like the little anklet around there. I like the sash, the red and green sash. Yeah, this is an A tier. Can't be any lower than A tier. Good old Fogado. Just really, really, really nice design. Timerra. I don't know how to feel about this design. I have gone back and forth on Timerra's design so much. What do I like? I like the colors. I like the pinks, the blues, the teals, the yellows. That all works. The character has a very, very explosive personality. She's in your face. She knows she's annoying, and she's literally using that to her advantage. Like, that is literally her personal skill, is, I'm fucking yapping up a storm, yappa dappa doo. I enjoy meat, meat. I'm fucking Chie from Persona 4. Yeah, works great. The pink, the white, the teal, the yellow, works wonderful. It shows that the character's annoying. I like that. I like the tube top. I like the black straps. I like the gold jewelry. Again, a little bit more subtle, but still very much portraying that she's royalty. I actually really like... It can seem awkward to have, like, the Charlie Brown-esque stripe on her legs. Like, it almost looks like she should be wearing stockings. She's not. She's wearing spats. It looks like she should be wearing stockings. It's almost like war paint. Like, she's straight up just been graffitiing on her legs. And I like that. I actually really like that. I almost wish there was more of that. Like, she was almost like covered in, not tattoos, but just not really war paint, but just covered in paint to show the more colorful side. I like the flowers in the hair, just a nice streak of teal across her legs and her hair. Like, almost wish there was one on her midriff, or one further down on her legs, something like that. That's the good stuff with Timerra's design. Colors and stuff is all great. What's not okay is the balls. What are the fucking balls about? Much like, again, back to Hortensia, what the fuck is up with these balls? They look so weird and out of place. It just looks like someone's like, yeah, we need accessories here. and I don't understand why. They look dumb. Like, I don't get it. The ones in the hair are kind of almost okay, because you could kind of perceive that as some kind of hairband or scrunchie. That's fine. I don't mind that. It's the ones around the wrist and the waist and around the fucking ankles that look really, really silly and out of place. And I think I just want to know, what are these balls? Like, the headband is made of flowers. She's wearing a golden necklace. I know what these things are. What the fuck are these balls? Are they balloons? Are they, like, fruit? Are they some kind of delicacy? Are they edible? Who knows? It's a mystery. It's never explained, and it just looks jarring. It looks like a clown vomited all over her. These balls should just be replaced by, like, ribbons. She's almost got, like, a dancer aesthetic. Like, if you told me this character was a dancer, I'd 100% believe you. She's got the sash around her legs. She's not wearing too many clothes. She's got the nice, like... I don't really know clothes terminology. I have a fashion degree. It's fine. But yeah, just, like, replace the balls with something, like, dancer-esque. I know she's not the dancer. Seadall is the dancer, but... just make her have more of a dancer aesthetic, like she's weaving a lance on the battlefield. She's almost like she's doing a pirouette with it. Get rid of the balls, replace it with like ribbons and sashes and stuff like that. I don't want to rank her C because I do love the colors and I do love parts of this design. But I think I'm going to place her in B tier just because the balls bring it down. If she didn't have the balls, this would be an A tier design. The bangles and stuff, all the jewelry is great. Gold actually meshing well with the design. The colors are actually really good for a change. It doesn't feel like it's out of place. We got the tutti fruity thing going on. It's wonderful. Yeah, B tier. Definitely could be A tier though. Get rid of them damn balls. Bunet! Did you know I like food? I will consume the gods to see how they taste. Bunet's a weird one. I never know how to feel about Bunet. He's a fucking weirdo in lore. Where do I start? His entire aesthetic is he's supposed to be a chef. He looks like a chef. So right away, 10 out of 10, S+. For realsies though, genuinely not sure how to feel. I like that his cape looks like a tablecloth. That's actually a nice little, that looks like something your grandma would put on a table before she serves you like 18 million different types of potatoes. I like the colors. The orange and purple go together quite nicely. I don't like the weird black. Yeah, is that pants under his white uniform? What even is that? That just looks really jarring. Maybe it's like part of the saddle. I don't know. The colors are good. The reds, the purples, the oranges, and the pure white is great. Again, matching with Fogado's theme of him and his retainers are all wearing white because it's in the desert and it's hot as fuck. The poofy sleeves work well. The overall chef aesthetic is definitely there. He's wearing like almost like a napkin. The shoulder guard works because it shows his class along with the shield. It still matches his colors. It doesn't feel like Goldmary where it's like, this is a great knight, and it almost feels like he should be wearing more armor. And I get that he's kind of supposed to be a joke character, but like, Vander looks like a paladin. Vander looks more like a great knight than a paladin because he's so heavily armored. But like, this dude does not look like a great knight. If you remove the horse and to ask me to identify what this dude's class is, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. I'd probably guess like halberdier or something. Yeah, no, I'm gonna probably dock points for that. It does not feel like a great knight. He should be wearing more armor. Maybe just have like another big shoulder pad, because I don't mind it. But it feels like there should be more straps as well. Give him more straps. Maybe bulk up his like gloves and boots. Maybe give him shin pads or something. I don't know. It just feels like he's maybe missing something in the Great Knight area. It's kind of fine. It's a fine design. Like C or B. It's definitely not offensive to my eyes. The colors definitely work. I'm not sure about the red can kind of work because it indicates like, oh, kitchens are hot, fire, stuff like that, and it still works. I'm kind of leaning towards C tier because it's a little bit forgettable. Like Bunet, he's a little bit forgettable. No, I'm gonna put him in B tier because I do actually really like the cape. The chef aesthetic is definitely there. The Solm aesthetic is definitely there. He's only really missing the Great Knight and aesthetic, and it's just a little bit boring overall. Which is fine. It's inoffensive. If Vander can be in B tier, he can be in B tier. Yeah. B tier, Bunet. Pandreo. I really, really like this design. Pandreo has a sick-ass design. Look at that hair. Right away, I love that hair. Just looks like fucking erupting flames. I love the way it's covering its face. I love the way it's just protruding in a bunch of different directions. Looks great. Super distinctive yellow eyes. He's got earrings, which do actually match the character. He's a party edible, bros. Go to fucking Blasterberry. That's all good. I love the wild colors on the monk robes. The reds really, really pop. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the slate with the red and the gray. I don't think that works that great. I almost think you could replace that with maybe just black, to be honest. Make it so like the other colors are really, really dull. Like completely just like, oh, boring black and gray. Like, whoa, to make that red really pop. It definitely matches the monk aesthetic. He's got weirdly like, he's just wearing black trousers and just fucking red sneakers. The red kicks do look a little bit weird. I feel like you could have made those white. Other than that, it's not too much of a, like, interesting design, so to say. You could almost say, like, it matches, like, the monk outfit with the almost Asian aesthetic of the strands going down the monk robe, which is cool. It matches the fact that monks can use martial arts and engage for whatever reason, even though you're never ever gonna do that. It definitely matches his character of, yeah, he is a holy man, but I feel like he could maybe use some more, like, of the wild side. Like, maybe don't, like, he's a priest, he's a holy man, but he's a fucking party dude. But I don't really get party dude outside of the hair and maybe, like, the plain and simple pants and shoes. Maybe have one of his sleeves pulled up. He looks too formal. Yeah, I'd say, like, maybe have his sleeves rolled up or something like that. Maybe get rid of that little cloak he wears over the rest of the garment. Maybe have his pants, like, torn a bit. Something minor. You don't need to do something huge. Have the collar open up, have the sleeves pulled back, something like that. It's almost there. It's really close to being enough, but he needs a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. And then he'd be perfect. Very close to an S tier design. Just because it's very simple, and I like Pandreo a lot. Welcome to my opinions. Hello. I think I'm going to place him in A tier. Yep. It's very, very close to S tier, but he's just missing that little kick in the right direction. Not a huge fan of the slate either, to be honest. Panette, the sister of Pandreo. Panette is a design that I fucking hated when I first saw it. I really, really disliked this design when I first saw it. I thought, oh god, more face paint, more crap on my characters. Oh, my day, we looked at Board, Cord, and Boss, and that was the peak of character design. And now, I've very much warmed up on this design. For starters, I really like kind of just like the Day of the Dead aesthetic she's got going on. Very explosive colors all around her that normally wouldn't really mesh well, but she's kind of got that, yeah, like Dios de los Muertes aesthetic, Day of the Dead. She's got the skull makeup, which I actually surprisingly like. Like, when it comes to that style of makeup on the face, I usually don't like it, but I think it matches both the character quite well, and it matches the rest of the outfit really, really well. I like the floret in the hair with the ribbon, really ties the outfit together. I love the fucking colors on her skirt and the boots. How it looks like it's literally just been paint splashed all over her outfit. And the same colors are present, but like really tidy on her boots. That shows that, no, she purposefully made it like that, and it just looks really good. It shows a chaotic nature to the character, which is 100% fucking accurate. Really, really good. Someone had a field day with that. Like, the colors on the skirt are so good, and they're so dignified on the boots. Like, it shows that she's got both a dignified side and a chaotic side. Because she's a berserker, but she's still like, ooh, would you like to have tea later after I biff this person into the next dimension? Yeah, works great. I like the collar, I like the general dress, I like the bandages on the hands, again to indicate that she's a berserker, works great with her class. All good. Great design. But there's a problem, and it's the same problem I had with Kagetsu, and both of these problems could be fixed if they just switched positions in the game. This does not look like a character from Solm in the slightest. The paint does, but the rest does not in the slightest. She's got flowers like Illusia or Ferene. She's wearing a full black dress like an Illusia character, and she's got the makeup of an Illusia character. Like, it just doesn't work for Solm. She looks like an Illusion character, 100%. In the same way that Kagetsu looks like a Solm character. If you switch these characters' positions in the story, their designs would be probably S tier. But because of that, it just stands out. She just doesn't feel like a Solm character. Like, no fucking sane person would wear full black in the desert. You are asking to die of heat exhaustion. And I know I'm bringing realism into a game with wyverns and dragons, but, like, cut me some slack here. It just doesn't match. I was gonna put this in S tier, so I'll put her in A tier. Very, very close to an S tier design. I love the colors on the skirt. I love the flower ribbon in her hair. I love the boots. I love tons of stuff about this design. Really, really fits the character and the class. But the problem is it just doesn't belong in Solm whatsoever. Very good design. Very close to S tier, but not quite there. It's Merrin! Merrin's a weird design. I always just felt this was a Byleth recolor. Like, if you just took Merrin's head and, like, fucking erased the rest of the body, I'd just say, oh, that's Byleth with a different eye color. Yeah, this is a weird design. I'm never really sure how to feel about it. It's a cool design. Wolf Knight's a cool new class, which I like a lot. And she definitely does fit that aesthetic really well. I love the gloves with, like, the extended sharp nails built into the gloves. That's really cool. The purple and blue are really cool. They're more subdued. But, I don't know, I feel like it just matches the Wolf Knight aesthetic pretty well. When I say matches the Wolf Knight aesthetic pretty well, like, this is the Wolf Knight. Like, in the same way that Merrick is the mage, Bast is the fighter, Ogma is the mercenary. It's because they're the first one. This is the first Wolf Knight. So, she gets to decide the aesthetic. So in a way, she gets some privilege. The ruffled collar is really, really cool. The fur, like, she looks like she belongs, like, she looks like she has a close relationship with a wolf. I'm not sure how I feel about the tail. That's probably the biggest aspect of the design where I'm just like, oh, I don't know about this one, Chief. It feels like a bit much. It feels a bit goofy. I think I'd prefer the design without the tail. It felt like they were like, this design's good, but we need to make it so the player really knows she likes wolves. Oh, let's just give her a big floppy tail. Instead of giving her something else, like sticking more fur all over her clothes. So you could have just had more fur padding on her boots, just to really sell the Wolf Knight persona home. Yeah, I like the almost like gold teeth around her back, almost indicating a trophy that she's taken from all of her kills. That's really cool. More of an animalistic side, fits with the Wolf Knight. I'd say it mostly fits with the Somme aesthetic. The collar just feels like it's tacked on because she has to, because like Timerra would want it, or like Panette would want it, in a way. It doesn't feel like she would want that. She's just doing it because her allies would want it, which I actually do quite like. The hair is cool, the eyes are cool. This is just a cool design. Is it an A tier design? It's a cool design. Yeah, no, it's a cool I'm going towards A tier. It's just a very cool design. It would be an S tier design if it didn't have that stupid fucking tail. Merrin A tier. Oh, I love you, Seadall. What a fucking cool. First canonical male dancer. Elfin doesn't count. Three Houses dancers don't count, because this boy is dancing. He ain't playing songs, he's dancing. Right off the bat, this dude looks like he fucking lives in Somme. He's barely wearing, wearing big poofy pants to let the air flow through his legs, while on his chest he's simply just wearing like a tight black, whatchamacallit, I don't even know what that is. It's just a tight shirt, but it works completely. And he looks like a fucking dancer. He's covered in gold, he's covered in scarves, he's got a cool cape, he's got a cool headband, long hair, he's thin. He's got a good... Yeah, like, everything about this design just works. As for... Dancer designs tend to be pretty simple, because they don't have any weapons or mounts, so they need to, like, just look like a dancer, pretty much. That necklace is really weird, now that I look at it. A weird pendulum blade with a bunch of keys on it for some reason. That's kind of weird. Never really looked at that. Sure, why not? Yeah, I love the gold bracelets. That looks really good. Gold really works. You want gold in a dancer, 100%. Dancers tend to be eccentric and all about that cash. They should look like they have a dollar sign attached to them. I feel like you could maybe add some more, maybe like to his posture or something, because there's only one dancer, so you don't really need to have his, his posture match like a generic dancer design like it would be in Three Houses. Like in Three Houses, the dancer is generic, it's not a specific character, so they have the dancer animations be kind of awkward in a way. But here, it's going to be Seadall all the time, every day. Like, when I think of Olivia in Awakening, I think, oh, Olivia doesn't want to dance, she's kind of awkward. When I think of Elfin in FE6, Elfin fucking has... I don't remember if he's blind or he just doesn't open his eyes, but he's just very calm, collected, play the harp, and fucking move again, my child. Olivia's like, ooh, I don't want to dance, ooh, don't look at my tatties. Whereas Seadall is kind of like, oh, do I have to dance? I just want to tell fortunes and read Cosmopolitan. Whereas I don't really get that vibe from him. He seems a bit too serious. I'm gonna go A tier. This could be an S tier design, but I feel like he needs to just have his other, like, maybe fortune-telling side. Maybe you could have, like, tarot cards just fucking sported around his design somehow. I don't know. You could maybe work the tarot cards, the fortune-telling stuff into his design, or, like, his combat. But here, it just kind of feels completely absent from his design, which is a shame, because it's a cool part of his character. But yeah, this is still a very great design. Really, really happy we finally got a canonical male dancer. Very, very good A-tier design. Thank you, Seadall. Thank you, Steven Seadall. And the final region. Is it really a region? I guess it's kind of a region. The wiki fucking lists it as a region. The terrible wiki that you shouldn't use. Gradlon, which consists of normally 2 units, but because of the DLC, I guess it gets boosted up to 7. We'll get to that in a sec. First of all, let's start with Mauvier, or Mauvier. It's been I don't even remember how you pronounce his name. Alright. This is a cool design for a cool, very solemn character. What do I like about this design right off the bat? I like the fact that he looks super fucking bulky, which matches his appearance in combat completely well, because Mauvier's entire thing as a boss is like, you have Gris, who hits hard but isn't very fast, you have Zephyr, who'll hit you from very far, like she'll have absurd move due to the fact that she usually has the Sigurd ring, Marnie, who's a joke. But then there's Mauvier, whose entire characteristic is being very difficult to kill. He has just enough speed to not get doubled, and enough defense and res to survive most attacks. Very, very cool in that aspect. The shoulder pads make him look unbelievably wide. This dude, you know, if you took off the armor, he'd be slim as fuck. He probably does in the Somnial. The color's really, really nice. Kind of subtle, but in a way that really, really works. Mostly silver, just to show that he is a knight, first and foremost. He is Veyle's proclaimed guardian. He has a circlet to show that he is still dignified and very sophisticated. Works really well. The facial hair actually works this time, as opposed to the facial hair on someone like Lindon. It doesn't really feel like it works there. It fits here. Feels like a grizzled guardian who's been in combat for like 30 years. He's like 45. He's been in combat since 15 years old, bucko. I love the cape, I love the shoulder pads, I love the collar, I love the colors, the silver, the purple, the black pants work. Pretty much everything about this design works. I like the little, what would you call that, drapes? Oh my god, the curtains on his outfit. The little drapes on his front with the fire emblem, the little fire decor, works quite nicely. It fits with the Gradlon aesthetic of being kind of dark and mysterious. I'm going to go with an A tier design, just very, very cool and solid to look at. Mauvier is a really cool character. I'd love to be able to look at the whole cape, but unfortunately it's clipping through the horse's butt, so we don't get to look at all of it. Looks like it has some cool, like, symbology on it, though. Very cool design. I think you could maybe improve this just by adding a tiny bit more. A tiny bit more, not too much. You gotta keep the simplicity, don't add too much crap. Maybe just literally add, like, some kind of emblem on his chest. Some kind of symbol to show that he's from Gradlon. Literally just that. Like, just add a little bit of a pattern or a decor on his chest plate. I think that would make this an S tier design. Probably the best of the four hounds, I'd say. Although that's not very difficult, because we'll get to the four hounds, the playable versions at least. Those designs, could have used some more time in the oven. Alright, and the other base game Gradlon unit, spoilers, is Veyle. Beat! Alright, there we go, I'm done. Veyle is a design I actually quite like, despite the fact that it's kind of creepy with the feet. Obviously, we can't ignore the fact that there is a CG of her feet. I will edit it into the video, because God knows we want to fucking slurp up those toes. I'm not editing that out. Future me, leave that in, you fucking coward. But other than the feet, I actually quite like this as a design. She is a princess of Gradlon. She is reasonably respectable. I actually really like the dress. It looks like it's made out of feathers. I'm not sure it matches the aesthetic of Gradlon very well, but it matches the character being very gentle and sweet. Like, oh, like, you could break that. Like, Veyle looks like a character that you could break with, like, harsh words alone. I like the crown of almost feathers. The collar kind of works. It's a little bit weird, but it also does match the dark underlying theme with Veyle. It's like, oh, she's got that darker heart, she's got that other darker personality, so that does work. As much as it feels a tiny bit out of place and a little bit creepy on a character like this, but it definitely does work. The black and white hair, again, this is, you know what this is? This is how you do Alea's hair well. This is Alea's hair. It's two colors, but it's two colors that actually go well together and aren't obnoxiously, like, fucking eye-searing when you do that. This is white and black together, and it isn't just, oh, red on one half and fucking blue on the other. It's white on top, and then it looks like black is the underlying theme, which both works with the character and looks more aesthetically pleasing. You could have done this with Alea. Have blue on top and have just red, like, highlights beneath, showing that, believe it or not, there's a darker past without immediately beating me over the head with a hammer +5. The anklets on, again, I'm sorry to have to draw us to the feet, but we have to go to the feet. It's just, it does work. It's actually quite a nice aesthetic. She's chained to her kingdom. She doesn't really want to serve Somron, but she's kind of in a position where she has no choice. She's basically a slave, so give her some chains on her feet. Works. The long gloves are a nice little touch. It's just a very nice design. I think it's just very aesthetically pleasing. I actually quite like Veyle as a character and as a design. It might be a little bit out there. I don't like the fact that you can S support her, but that's a fucking different cake entirely. We'll bake something different next time. But yeah, I think this is a really, like, good, solid A-tier design. This is how you do Alea's design well. Do not look at the fucking Alea and think, oh, you just can't do multiple fucking hair colors. Also, because Alea doesn't have, or Veyle doesn't have two different eye colors. She don't have two different eye colors. Look, purple, and it works completely fine. She does not need to have a purple eye and, like, ooh, a white eye, or a black eye, ooh, evil. Like, it just works. You can just leave it alone. Don't touch the eyes. Just fucking leave them alone. We do not need heterochromia clouding our judgment. This is fine. I can't quite put it in S tier because she's not wearing shoes, and I can't reasonably cut a character that's just flat out not wearing shoes in S tier. It's fucking weird and gross, and I hate you, Insist. Put shoes on this character. Give her some sneaks. Give her some Yeezys. Give her some Tims. Hashtag give Veyle Tims. Yeah, A tier. And now we go on to the DLC characters in Chapter 4 of the Fell Xenologue, because I haven't fucking finished it, and I never will. Spoilers, the Fell Xenologue is absolutely fucking terrible, one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had in Fire Emblem. Don't waste your money on it, in case you haven't already. And if you have, I feel sorry for you. I paid money for this! I paid money to have a bad time. Let's do the Dragon Twins first. Let's do Nil. Nil is a very, well, kind of weird design. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I know how I feel about Nell. This design's kind of just wacky and kind of janky. Right away, I like the eye symbology on the chest to match the fact that he's the son of Sombron. That works completely well, but it's still kind of sophisticated and mysterious in a way, and it makes it quite nice. The colors of pink and white with the black undertones are quite nice. The collar makes him seem like royalty, which, again, works for his position in the Sombron royalty, but I'm not sure it completely matches his character. I know there's like the twist of whatever the fuck. He's actually like, oh, I'm this guy instead. I didn't finish the Fell Xenologue. I don't care. This is for the fucking meek, oh, I don't know, I'm not that strong guy. That personality, alright? And overall, it's just a lot of shapes that I'm not really a fan of. Like, I don't like the waist guard. What would you even call that? Just random spikes tied to the back of, like, what is the purpose of that? It isn't to guard his waist, because it ain't guarding shit. It's not big enough. It isn't used for any offensive purposes. It's not used for decorative purposes. It's just kind of there. Yeah, the more I look at this design, I'm really not a huge fan of it. Like, I like the pink and white and black, but I don't actually like the way he's designed outside of the eye on his chest. It just feels kind of weird and not really thought about very hard. This feels like they just kind of slapped together a design without really thinking about it too much. I do kind of like how there's this gold, almost closed eye symbol on his back to symbolize that, oh, maybe this character's two half. Fucking like every other character in this game has two halves, man. But yeah, the spikes on the back just seem really out of place and goofy. That feels like something that you'd have on a Wyvern Knight or something of that regard. It just does, it feels completely out of place for this character. I'm leaning towards either C or a D tier. I think I'm leaning towards D tier. I actually really just am not a huge fan of this design. There's so many aspects. Like, it makes me think of an Alice in Wonderland character or something like that, where it's just like, oh, venture into the world of imagination where everyone has 10 feet colors and it's aesthetically hideous. This is simple in some ways and really unnecessarily convoluted and complex in others. Like, it just doesn't work very well. I'm gonna go ahead with D tier. This one just doesn't work for me. This feels like a absolute opinion one though. I can absolutely see someone liking this design. If you like this design, I can completely understand why. This is just my personal taste. But D tier, yeah. Now, a design I actually am a big fan of. Right away, there's just a lot more going on in a more interesting way. The collar feels more in place here than it does on Nil, to the point where I almost wish Nil had the same collar, but it was just a lot smaller to symbolize that his reduced personality in comparison to his more confident sister, Nell. That would work a lot better. I really like the fur collar. I genuinely love the blue and silver, like torn, what would you call that? A butt cape. I'm just gonna call it a butt cape. The torn butt cape looks really, really cool. It shows that she's been in combat a lot. She's protecting her brother. She has plenty of experience on the battlefield. I really like the blue and silver as the main colors. It shows that she's not, like, the highest royalty if you make silver the main color, but she is still, like, a gilded person. She still has a renowned past. Yeah, this just works a lot better. I like the small blue and silver cape. The blue and silver just flows really, really nicely. Two really nice intertwining colors. The greaves look a little bit weird with the gold, like, edgy fucking boots and heels. And almost like gold spurs in a way. Something that you could potentially use as a weapon. The book bag, I will say, feels completely out of place. Why is that there? That does not look like that belongs there. That straight up looks like I've gone into fucking equip your characters with accessories and just given her a book bag. The black gloves are nice, the silver gauntlets are cool. It still has that like kind of Alice in Wonderland nature to it, where it's a little bit fantastical because it's the DLC, and so, ooh, alternate universe, ooh, it's wacky and different. So that works completely fine. Nice. It's a nice, simple design. It's like has the same level of complexity as Nil's design, but it just flows a lot nicer. The colors are a lot nicer. It's less busy. While the book bag is completely out of place, it just works a lot nicer. Like, she doesn't have dumb spikes on her back. She just has a cool torn cape. Torn capes are a really cool aesthetic. Use torn capes more, people. It shows a massive fucking spiraling history. Incredibly interesting tapestry of your own past. It's beautiful. Use torn capes. I'm gonna go towards... I'm thinking B tier. I was gonna put her in A tier, but that book bag just feels completely out of place. And honestly, there isn't that much, like, Sombron or Gradlon iconography on this one. So it feels like, if you ask me where this character came from, I probably wouldn't say from the land of Sombron. I do like the one tight, though. I've actually just noticed that she's only wearing one tight. Asymmetrical parts of your design, very cool. Asymmetry can work very nicely when you do it subtly like that. Like, I didn't even notice that she was only wearing one tight. Yeah, I'm gonna go with B tier. Not quite. It's not quite there. And then we move on to the 4 goobers, or I guess the 3 goobers in this case. We'll start with the fucking busiest of the bunch. Zelestia. What a fucking name. Oh, right. This design's awful. Although I will say when I'm ranking these 3 characters, it's a little difficult to rank them because it's basically just a palette swap of the 4 hounds, the villains. So I'm not really sure, like, it's like the 4-hound version of whatever her name is, Zephyra or what have you. It's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking kill the Divine One because I want that Sombron dick. Whereas here it's like, ooh, I'm a good girl. I'll have him home by 10. Don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Rogers. I'll take good care of your son. This design works for the bad version of the character much more because she's got that sadistic nature. She is very clearly a villain. As a good guy, it feels very out of place. And I understand that they didn't want to make a different design, and that's completely fine and acceptable. It would have been a little weird to have a totally different design. But here, it just doesn't work for the character, I'd say. The cleavage, again, works fine for the other version of the character. It feels a little out of place here. The horn is kind of cool. She is a dragon, but she is incapable of turning into an actual draconic form, so she's stuck in human form. So to symbolize that, she's like covered in scales and a horn and a little bit of fur on her head and all these dingle-dangles and gold circlets and whatnot. All these accessories that actually do work quite nicely for the fact that she can't turn into a dragon, so she's symbolizing some of her draconic nature on her human form. Works very nicely. I do actually like the dark colors of dark purple, almost black. Works very nicely. Very subtle. The yellow, like, cloak with a blue interior is a little bit off and strange. I actually forgot what the colors are on their original, like, Zephyra version. I don't even remember what her original name is. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Other than that, the long white hair's pretty cool. It symbolizes her age pretty well. The fact that she's over 1,000 years old and she doesn't look like a child for a change. Imagine that. Yeah, no, it's a pretty simple design. I can't rate it any higher than C tier. I'm wondering if it's C or D tier, just because it's not a great design. At worst, it's a terrible design. At best, it's a fine design. It's just not very good as a motherly dragon trying to protect, like, her family. And that's really just, like, not even really the fault of the character or the character designer per se, it's just the fact that you get screwed over by being an alternate universe version. Like, if you asked me to rank alternate Alfred's design, I'd say this is completely out of character. Why does he look like this? It was like he's a bloodthirsty monster or something. And it's like, yeah, of course that doesn't work. This character design was designed for a nice prince. No, I'm gonna put it in D tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in D tier. Because it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit for the character at all. Which isn't completely fair, I will admit. If you have complaints in this regard, that's completely understandable. But I don't care, so it's going in D tier. Yeah, it's just a little bit off. It feels like she should be wearing a little bit more. Again, I'm not against showing skin. I don't know. It just feels like she should be wearing a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe on the legs, maybe in the midriff area. I actually think the cleavage is the least of the problems. Like, I look at the gauntlets, or I look at her arms, and almost the parts protecting her upper arms and her lower arms and her hands, and that looks good. Maybe add some more leg armor to, like, probably fortify this design. Otherwise, I'd say, yeah. Just, it's lacking in areas, and it doesn't fit the character at all. D tier. Sorry, Zelestia. Next up, oh, it's Greg! Everyone's favorite wacky hero, Greg. Again, this suffers from the same problem as Zelestia in that this design does not fit this cowardly mage in any way. So I'll just try and rank, I'll just try and rank it as is. I'll be real, I never really liked Griss's design for a sage. When I first saw Griss's design, I immediately said, assassin. That character's an assassin. And when I saw he was a sage, I was like, what? But he's shirtless and, like, into pain, and he's got tons of piercings. It's like, that dude had assassin written all over him. And he's wearing fucking almost brass knuckles, for fuck's sake. But no, he's a sage. And I stand by that opinion, and that he does not feel like he should be casting, like, Elwind every now and then. It feels like he should be trying to get a silencer proc. The design is reasonably fine. It's not particularly bad. I think it's a bit better than Zelestia's design. I'd go towards C tier for a start. It's got good Sombron iconography with all the eyeballs and kind of like that mysticism and occultic nature. That's very good. The dark green hair pops very well with the red eyes. That's all good. The colors are black and white, very simple, but it works really nicely. Good contrasting light and dark aesthetic. Again, more torn capes. That's good. Torn clothes are cool. I just noticed the giant fucking spiked wristbands and spiked anklets. That's fucking stupid. I hate that. Why is that there? That's something you could absolutely remove for Greg and just keep on Griss as like a soft... Because they removed the piercings for Greg. I'm not calling him Gregory. He's called Greg. It feels like you could absolutely remove the spiked arm guards and leg guards as well. And no one would miss them, and it would actually improve this design a lot more. Again, very simple like Zelestia. You can tell this used to be a villain character because he's not got too much going on. Like, the leather straps are nice. I do like the general clothes. I wish he was wearing a shirt, for fuck's sake. Let my man hide his non-existent nips. It's just, it feels like it could be a fun... This doesn't feel like a design that could be like an A tier design. This feels like something that's destined to be B tier at best. Yeah, I'm gonna go C tier. Iffy in a lot of areas. The spikes are really goofy. The colors, while nice, are very, very simplistic. The Sombron iconography is good, but that's kind of it. That's really the only positive I have about this design, is that it does match the Gradlon aesthetic, or Illusia, whatever you want to call it. The homeland of the guy with 3 eyes. He has the many eyeballs. I do like that the symbol on his waist almost looks like something portrays like a creature casting a spell with like 2 little claws. That's cool. I like that. It's still not good enough to rank it to B tier. C tier, not good enough. You can do better next time. C minus, 55%. You can do better next time. What do you call this? Embarrassing, Greg. And the last character. Well, let's end with a fucking wet fart of a design. Oh god, this design. This one's easy, because it's just Madeline painted blue instead of pink. Or it's just Marnie painted blue instead of pink. And she hides most of her face with her giant shield, which also has ribbons on. Did you know she likes ribbons? She likes ribbons because it's all over her fucking design. Okay, this design is not good. It's quite bad, in fact. This is like Effie Hero's level of Armor Knight, where if you took away the Great Shield, this character wouldn't look like an Armor Knight in the slightest. The only reason this character is an Armor Knight is because someone at Insist likes Armor Knights, and that's it. This is not how you do an Armor Knight design. Louis is how you do an Armor Knight design. Jade is how you do an Armor Knight design. This is not how you do an Armor Knight design. Why is she wearing a skirt? Why are there ribbons pasted all over her design? Why does her shield have a beard? Like, it's just so many things. Her cap looks weird. If you want to keep the maid aesthetic, I understand that. But one, the maid aesthetic doesn't fit Madeline or Marnie as a character, so I don't really understand why she's going for that. It feels a little bit out of place. You can keep the ribbons on her helmet and like the one metal one on her, almost like a circlet, and that's fine. That's good, in fact. But there's 1, 2, I'm gonna count the ribbons. 1, 2, 2 on the arms, so that's 6. 1 on the chest, that's 7. 3 on the shield, that's 10. And then 2 on the fucking greaves, that's 12. And there's 2 on her sides as well. And 1 on her ass! That's 15 ribbons, ladies and gentlemen! Holy fuck, what a terrible design. Like, at some point, someone in the fucking art department needs to tell the guy drawing ribbons to stop. I understand it. You like ribbons. You do not need to go this overboard. Jesus Christ. It's like she just won a fucking dog competition. Well done for running through the tunnel. Oh god, this design's so bad. This is, again, another bad design. This is a design that just has too much going on. Remove half of the ribbons, just give her more like plating and armor, make her look more like an Armor Knight, and this is a good design. As it is, I'm gonna go with E tier. I'm gonna go with E tier. It isn't as offensive as Hortensia, but like this design is bad. It doesn't really match. It doesn't match Sombron's aesthetic in the slightest. Could not tell you where this character's from. All over the fucking place. Colors don't really matter here. The ribbons look fucking stupid. She doesn't look armored enough. Like, she needs more bulk on her arms, more bulk on her like waist area. The skirt just feels goofy on an Armor Knight. It doesn't work. The shield could remove 2 of those ribbons. You can keep 1 ribbon on the shield. 1 ribbon on the big ribbon on the top would be fine. And also remove the weird goatee that the shield had. It's kind of freaking me out. Yeah, no, this is a poopy design. Madeline's design or Marnie's design. They're basically the same design. It's just select your color, select your palette swap. But this could definitely be a good design. Unlike, I think, Ivy and Hortensia, who I think you'd need to redesign from the ground up. I think Marnie / Madeline could definitely be a good design with just a few tweaks. Remove most of the ribbons, bulk her up a bit, remove the skirt, change the shield a bit, maybe change the headpiece a bit, and then you're cooking. Then you got some nice ingredients in the pot. As it is, it don't work for me, Chief. It's just poor. It feels over-designed and it's just an absolute mess. Like, even compared to someone like Effie and Fates, a design I don't particularly like. Effie's a very simple design and she looks like an Armor Knight. As many times as I've said, oh look, Effie's ass is hanging out. Like, the rest of her does look like a bulky Armor Knight and is cool. This is just a mess. This is just a mess and someone needs to stop drawing at some point. It's too much, absolutely too much, bombarded with flavors. E tier, for sure. Sorry, Madeline. And with that, we are donezo. Alrighty, let me just take another look-see at the standings. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this for the most part. The S tiers are all correct, and Hortensia is in the pile of burning garbage where she belongs. There's a couple of potential outliers here and there, like you could probably move Lindon up if you really cared. You could probably move Boucheron up if you really wanted to, but I don't know, I think it's pretty fine otherwise. So, there you go! The objectively correct opinion of every playable character's design and engage. A game I could not be less familiar with gameplay-wise, but plenty of these designs still haunt my dreams. Although, I will say, now that I'm looking at the whole tier list, we can decisively say that there are actually more good designs than bad designs, which I wouldn't have predicted when I started making this, so it's actually pretty cool to look at the larger picture. Good stuff. More content to come, as always, but who knows what the future holds. If you disagree with my opinions, please leave a friendly and reasonable comment. If you agree with my opinions, please leave a hateful and venom-filled comment. And if you don't give a shit about anything I said for the past 2 hours, you're truly the most based of all. Alright, see you next time, guys. Have a grand existence.